And I do, I'm like a food chemist, I
Yeah,
would
it's like
say,
it's
when it
like
comes to
magic. It's like
cooking.
science and magic and yeah, it's all there.
Yeah, I should have,
Ah.
they should have had me do that on an episode of
I
Chopped.
know. You could have joined Piper in the kitchen because she was a chef and you're like, here's some stuff I
Yes.
learned from my exes or whatever.
Yes,
See?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Piper
Bonus!
Leo! Crew, what the hell is going on?
Look out! Piper, now!
Here are these words. Here are the rhyme.
Crew, Piper, page, look! Here now the words of the witches. Keep it going, Phoebe. Here now the words of the witches. The words of the witches. The words of the witches. Crew, Piper, page, keep chanting. Here now the words of the witches. Keep it going, Phoebe. Keep it going. Here now the words of the... Keep chanting. Hear now the words. Finish the story. Through Piper Page. Look. Keep chanting. Hear now the words of the witches. Keep chanting.
What ass backward spell did you guys cast?
This is Kevin, and welcome to Words of the Witches.
Hear now the words of the witches. Through Piper Page. Look. The words of the witches. The words of the witches. Hear now the words of the witches.
Keep chanting.
Hear now the words of the witches.
All right. So, welcome to a bonus episode of Words of the Witches. Hello. I am here with Sandra Prosper. Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you for
Hi,
joining
hi,
me.
Kevin. Thank you for having me.
It's
It was
very
nice to be
exciting.
asked.
Yeah, it's very exciting
Yeah.
because we haven't kind of seen you around in a while. So it's beautiful to see your
I
face.
know. Thank you. Thank you. It has been a while.
hmm
Yeah.
So, let's just get acquainted. What have you been up to? What's been going on?
Well, I completely changed careers.
Yeah.
Um, I there was just certain things that happened in my life. 5 years ago, I broke up with someone I was with for 14 years. Long, long, long relationship. And I looked around and said, I got to work. We were in COVID at that point.
Mm.
I was getting offers for jobs that I couldn't take because I didn't have my vaccine passport schedule all up to date. And I wasn't going to be one of those ones who's going to be the one who got caught with the fake IDs.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't want to do anything. Yeah. So I just started remembering some of the things that had piqued my interest over the years that I was doing other things and too distracted to delve into. And I got really interested in financial services and the idea of
Nice.
being able to help people. So I am a financial representative
That's
working
so
with one of
ex
the top companies in the country.
Look at you. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's great. It's been a great ride. A lot of learning to do, it's a lot of it's a big learning curve,
hmm
and you gotta really be, committed and dedicated to doing it because there's a lot to learn, and
Right.
there's money and lives on the line, so you want to make sure that you know execute in the way that is going to serve the best interests of your clients. So,
Well, you seem like you have a good heart based on the posts that you do on Instagram and things like that. Um,
oh my gosh,
so
what posts do you watch? I mean,
I mean, you're
when
always
you
posting.
sent me those questions, I was like, oh my goodness, he's like he not only knows things about me, he intuited me. Like you were like intuitive about
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
I was quite impressed.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate that too. So I just try to get a feel for people and I try to understand them and get the vibes. And I totally, based on what you post, you're always sharing these really feel-good moments and really heartwarming stories and things like that. And I think it's really nice.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's I think it's there's so much darkness, there's so much bad news, there's so much stuff going on, tumult, you know, one group versus another group. I prefer my conversation, what I contribute to the conversation, to be something positive. And whenever I drive by and I notice something that's really heartwarming to me, I try to share that, um, in case someone else might be moved equally by it.
Yeah. And I think they are because I definitely was. So cool. Do you
Well, I
have
gotta
any?
look for your name now. I
Yeah.
didn't know that you had noticed all that.
Yeah. So do you have any like personal mantras that you live by? Anything that you think about every day that helps you?
Not really, but I have beliefs that I live by.
Oh, that's
So
good.
I don't necessarily repeat mantras to myself. I mean, I do read the Bible and I know scriptures that I love, but as a daily rule, it's just about, showing up for people, sh loving one another, try to
Yeah.
forgive, try to be the kind of person that you'd like to see presented to you, you know?
Very cool. I like that. So in case people don't know, I'm gonna knock over the computer. In case people don't know, you have played Sheila Morris on Charmed.
Sheila Morris. Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yes, I did. Ages ago. Ages ago. There have been several iterations of Charmed
That's
since
true.
I left the series.
So what how did you get involved? What was the audition process like? How did it come to be? How did you get cast?
It was very easy. It was very, very easy. I auditioned for it and I booked it right
Easy.
on a tape. I didn't
Wow.
even, I, I know I may have gone in on a callback, but it was like, sometimes when you go in on callbacks, I didn't know that I was going to be on for 3 seasons as a recurring character. I thought it was like a guest star. But, you know, oftentimes you can book something right off a tape, right off of going to a casting director, right off an audition tape. I think I went back once. I may have gone back once, but it was pretty quick like that. Sometimes you go back once and then you got to go again and again and again. I didn't know. So when they are looking to maybe expand your character a little bit more, then there'll be more people in the room the second time, and then even more
Okay.
people the third time when they're really trying to vet you. Yeah, the room gets bigger and bigger and bigger and more daunting when
More
you
people
walk
need
in.
to see
It's just
you.
a couple
Yeah.
people. It's like, hey, whatever, the decision makers, they all want to have a say in making the decision. And so the room gets bigger and bigger. I remember going to an audition for something at Disney, and I got the screen test, and I went into like a mini theater.
Oh
There
wow.
were like, I mean, there might have been 20 to 30 people in there. It was like performing a play,
Oh my
but it was just a
goodness.
scene or two. So it used to get like that. I don't know, because I haven't been acting for a while. When I couldn't do the role that they wanted to cast me for because I didn't have my passport all up to date, um, I basically was like, well, I guess I'm not going to be acting anymore. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
And kind of, I figured out my next moves, my next career. So, but yeah, it used to involve smaller rooms that got into bigger rooms that got into bigger rooms. But for this, I don't think that there was necessarily that. I think it was like, one, two, three people at most.
So you made an impression. That's what it means.
I guess I did. I guess I did. Yeah.
So
You
talented.
know,
Well, you definitely had a presence on screen. Like even because you were in 9 episodes total, I believe. But every time you brought such a really cool warmth and ferocity to Sheila. Uh,
thank you. I appreciate that. No
you're
one's ever
welcome.
said that to me, so that's a first. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think we all as fans really appreciated seeing you because your character was mentioned way back in season 2 and you didn't appear until season 5.
Season 3. Oh, season 5, right.
Yeah.
Because they went, how long did the series go on for?
8
7 years?
years.
8 years. Yeah.
Um yeah, but you Darryl was because Darryl's wife and Darryl wasn't in season 8 at all. The last season he wasn't in. They had to they had budget cuts and they couldn't bring him
Well,
back.
I, f- I feel like one of the last shows I did that last time was Us Moving or something like that.
Hmm.
I don't know. You would remember better. Have you watched it?
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
you seen all? I think we were moving or
Yeah, you,
something.
you moved to the East Coast. So you
I
remembered. Look at you.
before this conversation, I was going to be like, I hope he doesn't ask me any trick questions because I don't remember. If you're if you're a recurring character, you're kind of like you're a nomad going from set to set. And though you connect with people, I connected with the actors and actresses who are on the roster, but you you kind of leave that world and then you have to go into another world. You gotta be somebody else,
Yeah,
and you got to get into all of their feelings and that history and everything.
yeah.
So
Is there like a particular moment or a particular challenge that you had on Charmed that was meaningful or is memorable to you?
acting challenge or
Yeah.
personal
Yeah, because you have some
acting
crying
challenge.
scenes and
Yeah, I think that some people use sometimes their life and sometimes they use their imagination. And I do both. There's a scene that I'm now kind of like fed up with this closeness with the witches thing
hmm.
with with my husband,
Right.
Darryl.
Hmm.
And I have a confrontation with him. And I'm basically like, it's them or us. You
Right.
choose. That was that was a that that particular moment, that scene that day really resonated with me because I was going through some things in my personal life
Mm.
that were sort of, you know, close to home. It resonated because it felt really close to home. So I didn't have to struggle to come up with something imaginary. I was there and I really understood that. So you pull from different things. You pull from your imagination. I have a pretty good imagination. When he was about to go into jail,
Yeah.
when Darryl was about to go into jail, and this is like major stuff, terrifying. I could lose my husband for 20, 30 years and they could lose their father. I mean, the whole thing is collapsing. That was an imagined life experience that I just imagined in
Yeah.
my head.
I mean, it helps to be empathetic and
There you go.
it showed. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Initially, when we meet Sheila, she already knows about magic. How do you think she reacted? How happened off screen? So how do you think she reacted when Darryl first told her about it?
I think because she was very accepting, very helpful, nurturing, um, but also protective, a mama
Yeah.
bear. I think that there's just that whole amalgamation of, feelings, conflict. Are they safe? Can, can, do we have to vet them a little bit more? Am I going to have to keep a closer watch? Because this could be dangerous for not only me, but I'm thinking about my family. I'm thinking about him. being in the line of fire, potentially, literally and figuratively, because, all kinds of strange occurrences were happening. So I had to really I mean, when I had that moment with him, when I told him
Yeah.
it's us or
Us or
them,
them.
you know, it's, it was getting a little too close for comfort, in my view. But I
Yeah.
did care about them. I just didn't like, there was just a lot of risky, dangerous occurrences and behavior that could potentially put us all in danger, particularly my husband, since he was, you know,
Hmm.
more friendly with them.
And I think that was the switch because you definitely kept their secret and you definitely thought of them as family, but when it got to the point where it was a danger, a real danger, you had to put your foot down.
Things started
And
to get weird.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and it's totally understandable.
yeah.
So, what do you remember with meeting Darryl or the children who played your kids? There's two boys. What was the chemistry
Yes.
like?
Well, I love kids, so I have no problem being nurturing with them. I
Yeah.
grew up in a very big family, lots of cousins and nieces and nephews and things like that. I can't say my memory is as clear about the kids because I'm coming in for a day and then I come back and I don't see them anymore. But in the moment, I can be extremely nurturing. I mean, I also used to do a lot of commercials where I played a
Mm,
mom, and I couldn't tell you 98% of the people that I worked with. You just go in and you do your part and then you leave. You connect in that time, you talk to the mothers, fathers, whoever's
mm,
there chaperoning. But I don't remember the kids as much. Of course, I remember Darryl, the husband.
yeah.
Um, and we stayed friendly a little bit over on Facebook for a while. Um, Texted, but then we just lost touch. I'm sure
Mm.
if I saw him, it would, it's nice to see members like classmates, when you
Yeah.
go to
How
a
you doing?
reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be amazing to see him. And
Nice.
I used to run into him sometimes on the streets, shopping mall, whatever. And it was just always like big love, he was great. He was great to work with.
That's
He
great.
was
I
great as
love
a
that.
husband. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've met Dorian a couple times and he does have that really cool energy and that laugh is really infectious, so yeah.
Yeah, he's handsome and he's nice and tall. And
Yeah.
I think I called him Darryl. That was my husband's name, right? On the show,
Right.
right? Okay. So yes, I meant to call him Dorian. But yeah, he was a great guy. And then he went on to host Soul Train.
Soul Train, yeah.
Like, come on. Like
Look at you.
that was
Yeah.
amazing. Amazing.
So I talked about Sheila being amazing and fierce and warm, and you embody all those qualities naturally. Do you think,
Thank
um,
you.
you're welcome. Do you think she ever met Prue, the sister that, was gone before you got there?
That was Shannon
Mm-hmm.
Doherty's
Yeah.
character. In my mind, I didn't think of her
Yeah.
when I was on the set, but I felt informed by the gossip that was
Sure.
surrounding her. And so I kind of was like, oh wow, I got the better new cast member. But in looking back, well, based from evidence that we now know, she was beloved,
Yeah.
by her cast members, and she was, a good person, but I had heard contradictory things otherwise. And so
Mm-hmm.
my feeling was, wow, dodge a bullet there, like
Yeah.
I get to work with oh my gosh,
Rose.
the name just Rose. I
Yeah.
get to work with Rose, who I really liked working
Mm,
with, by the way.
nice.
Um, yeah, I'm terrible with names, so you have to
It's okay.
the faces all come, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
I lose the names, but yeah. Yeah, she was wonderful to work with, as was the others
The
as
other ones.
well. Alyssa, wonderful,
Oh,
wonderful
good.
to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were
That's
times that I didn't, I was coming in after not having worked on Charmed, because I was a
a lot
recurring
of gaps,
character.
right?
A lot of gaps and a lot of history to fill up. So they would help me. Alyssa was extremely helpful in getting me, you know, in alignment and understanding of what was
Mm,
really going on because I didn't know all of the history. And so that would just help me help, the performance and the scene on the show so that,
yeah. So you're in
could
the moment
resonate.
and yeah.
Hmm.
That's cool. I'm glad that she did that. That was very helpful.
Yes, she was really, really, really encouraging and helpful because as I said, um, you you can do it and I did. I'm capable of being inserted into a world that's been long underway before I got there. But when you have the benefit of people who were there day one, I'm not opposed to humbling myself and saying, hey, just so I know, fill me in on this, fill me in on
Mm,
that, just get a little bit more information to make us appear like we've known each other all those years of the
yeah.
show, you know.
Nice. Did you have a favorite episode or scene that you did?
I think that scene that I was telling you
The
about
one with the us or them?
when I said it's us or them, there was another scene that I really liked when Darryl was going to jail. That was that was terrifying for me, to
Yeah.
play as the character. So I haven't seen it. I've only seen it once. I don't like to look at,
Sure.
because I feel like it happened, like life, it happened, and now it's a memory. So
Yeah.
I'm not always looking back at my tape, but I did look back at it and I, I felt the horror and terror of, potentially losing my husband forever. Didn't work out.
Mm.
It didn't work that way, which was great for our benefit. Um, but yeah, that was they were continuously giving me heavier
Yeah.
subjects to tackle, which I really, when I think about though I was a recurring just popping in, they really did fortify my appearance there with really great story that I could tell and play. And they gave me a lot of, wonderful, meaty uh, subjects to tackle.
They
And that
did.
was great.
That is so because
Couldn't ask for more.
a lot of recurring actors or guest actors don't get to do that as much. And so that it's really nice. I think your first
We
episode you
just
didn't
had,
say any words, and then by the end you're having these really meaty, like dramatic, emotional breakdowns and
yeah.
scenes, and so it's cool.
When I had the moment with Darryl Dorian in, I guess it was at the police station. I guess we were at
Yeah,
the police
with
station where I
Sheridan,
said it's us or
that's
when we had that
hmm
us or them,
yeah,
the blonde
hmm
lady. Yeah.
hmm
I got a call from the producer of the show for, he said, he called me and said that they had run through, the playbacks of the scene. That had never happened before to me. I'd never gotten a call from somebody a complimentary call to acknowledge, my work in that. And I've just felt, wow, this is amazing. This is not something that you should expect, but man, if when it comes, like, can't I'd be a liar if I said it's nice, and it's a nice thing to receive, and it's a nice thing to receive again and again and again for your work. So um that was
Congratulations.
a wonderful unexpected experience. Yeah, yeah. It's challenging for recurring to, like I said, just drop in like
Yeah.
a drop shipment, and then meld with people, and then absorb that life, that history, and all of that. That's the challenge, but that's also the fun of it, is finding it, you know um, liking who you're working with, and just doing the best work you possibly can.
I do theater and stuff too, and
Are you
so
an actor too?
I do act, yes. So
Oh,
and one of my
where can I see
my
you?
things, just in theater and plays, I do local things. But I studied musical theater in school and things like that, so I do some singing as well, and yeah, it's fun.
Yes,
And
you
one
have
of
a great
my
voice.
thank you. One of my things is just tell the story. That's I always try to focus on that, and that's
Mhm.
that's one of the things that I think you do too.
Try to. I don't know what I would do today, because they still call me, by the way. I still get called in for things. I haven't booked anything since I couldn't take that role, because
Mm,
didn't have and that's several years ago, 2, 3 years ago. But my manager still calls me, and the same people still call me in.
mm,
So I had to lean on that, because yeah, my schedule is my own. I can definitely play another recurring role, a guest star role, or something like that. And I would love it and enjoy it. So when I have the opportunity and the time, I covertly put myself on tape.
yeah. Because you've done other roles, I think before Charmed, and I remember like Mike was one of them.
That was my first studio movie,
Wow.
and that was I tell everybody not to look because um there was a there was a whole thing, and my weave that I had on got twisted backward intentionally. Not gonna say who, not gonna say who. And so I say to people, don't watch that. So now you're gonna post this, and everybody's gonna be
I was
like,
gonna watch
Mike,
it.
Mike,
Yeah.
Mike, Mike. Right, I gotta watch it. Um, that was my first big studio movie. I wasn't even living in LA at the time. I was living back in on the East Coast, because I'm from New York, New Jersey.
Mm,
And it was a big deal. It was a really big deal. For Fox, it was, you know, just fun to be a part of that. Got to work with Morris Chestnut, Little Bow Wow, who
hmm
became a big, music star. And Morris became a big star, doing The Best Man, which I screen tested for. I screen tested for not his wife, the woman who plays his wife. I screen tested for the role played by Nia Long, who was time of the first movie. It's gone on, many, many chapters since then on TV shows and whatnot. But I was his college friend, and I'm saying this character
Sure.
was a college friend who you know, always had a crush on him. And
Mm,
I've been loving seeing how they have taken it beyond the movie. The movie was really successful, and so it became some other movies. And then they did a series, and just from that one little seed
Yeah,
to
wow.
become what it became, it's pretty remarkable. But I screen tested with Tay Diggs
Okay. Yeah,
on
wow.
that. So, we all have our stories.
Right? It's so
It
neat.
was
It's
I
so
was
neat. The
I was
tangled
this
web.
person's favorite. What'd you say?
The tangled web we
Huh?
weave, Yeah.
The tangled web we weave, and there's always the also ran, that person who, some people wanted and other people didn't want, or you just didn't, you just were the solid number two, and the other person was out of the box number
Hmm.
one, but when you get that close, yeah, it can be it can be painful, it can be
Right.
disappointing to not achieve that. But it's been great seeing what they've done with it, and I followed it. I've been following it all along. I think that the producer, writer is fantastic, and I love his storytelling.
Oh,
He's
that's
he's
cool.
Spike Lee's nephew,
Oh, wow.
actually, Malcolm.
Neat.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just remember that coming out when I was a kid. Just like that was everywhere, you know?
It was everywhere, and it was at the time, I believe, the biggest box office hit for a Black movie at the time.
Wow.
And I knew it reading the script. I was like, this is something. This is really going to be something. The writing was just so perfect.
Wow. I think you've had some other guest stars in other things. What were some of your other roles?
I did a lot of pilots, and I did guest stars on ER. Um, oh gosh, I have to go back and look at my resume. I don't even remember.
Right.
Soul Food, the series Soul Food,
Okay.
the first the first season or so, maybe into the second season. I don't remember. But yeah, I did guest stars. I was always getting pilots. I was always getting that. And then some of
Hmm.
them wouldn't get picked up, some of them would be recast. So I hung around for a long time and I made money, but you may or may not have seen me, because if the pilot didn't get picked up, then the only people who knew were the actors who shot it. But those were great. They were great gigs because you get
Yeah.
paid very well for doing that. Uh, I did a series playing a clerk in the Supreme Court on ABC. It was starring Sally Field
Oh,
and
wow.
the Succession guy, the father, who
That
I've
guy.
had dinner with. I had dinner with him numerous times. We kept in touch for a while after the pilot. Do you know Succession, the show
I know it.
Succession?
I'm trying to think of the name though. I can't remember.
I can't believe I can't think of his name either. But he's an amazing actor. He plays the father. He's like
Okay.
the head of the family. Um, and he we were let go after that
Oh.
pilot. The only person that they kept was Sally. And
Oh,
he went
wow.
on that year to win an Emmy. And I was like, wow, they really dodged a bullet there, with not hiring him for the series, because they would have had an Emmy. He had just won an Emmy, and he was a fabulous actor, and he went on to do incredible
Mm.
things on Succession. Did a TV movie called An American Tragedy,
Mm.
and I became friendly with Chris Plummer,
Oh,
Christopher
nice. Wow.
Plummer,
Yeah.
yeah, who was one of the stars of the movie. I played a character called after Sean Chapman. Sean Chapman is she used to work in uh, Johnny Cochran's office. I've done a lot of things that I'm very proud of. I've worked with, like I said, like people like Sally Field
Yeah.
and the Succession guy who I cannot believe I can't remember his name. Um,
You have been known to be quite the baker and things like that. What sparked that love?
Eating,
That makes
basically.
sense.
I like to eat. I I I've always been a greedy skinny girl or thin girl, and uh, I always love to eat. But I started in New York dating a lot of chefs
Mm,
in the restaurant business because they're all good looking and sexy, and they just want to cook for you and stuff.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so I would invade their kitchens and learn recipes, learn how to
That's so
cook. So
cool.
I learned how to make French food, Italian food. Um, I got wined and dined at a lot of places, and I would just take it back home. I take all of that intelligence back home and start whipping up recipes and stuff. And so when acting kind of I got into another relationship that was also very long, and when it kind of didn't matter that I did the hustle to, get acting roles. If I got something great, if not, I started really exploring some of my other interests and other desires. And one of them was to have a soups and sweets business. Because there was a famous cafe in Santa Monica that it was a bakery and cafe, but they sold really great soups, but they sold a lot of other things. And I said, I'd like to just have a business with soups and sweets,
Hmm.
just soups and sweets, great desserts, great soups. That's it. And that's kind of how it started. And I built that into farmers market businesses all over town. And it was very successful, but a lot of work, a lot of sweat equity
Yeah, I
because
can
I was
imagine.
preparing the food, I was packaging, I was, in charge of all the designs and everything. But I got recognized for it. I had celebrities that I would be putting my tent up before the table was set and before the food came out. So I did very, very, very well. Then COVID happened and I had to shift because my food was
Sure.
like a cafe under a tent, and they wanted us to package everything. But it was like I was like a bakery under a tent.
Yeah.
The display was part of the show. So I decided to do shipping, like go into like an e-commerce kind of thing. And that was just a little bit too much, but I did get noticed by the Oprah people, and I made it to the final round of Oprah's Favorite Things 2 years in a row,
Oh, neat.
2021 and 2022, or 2020
Okay.
and 22, whichever, for 2 years in a row. But I didn't make it because my business wasn't big enough. But they put me on ABC on View Your Deal. There's a segment on Good Morning America called View Your Deal, and my loaf cakes were featured on that. And I
Wow.
sold thousands of units, but it wasn't the gigantic platform that Oprah's Favorite Things would do because they were working in tandem with Amazon. So
Mm,
we're talking, 15,000 units or more a week. And I just didn't have the capability to do that.
no.
Even though they asked me if I could, I was like, yes, yes.
Right.
Yeah, you
Whatever
just
you
say
want.
yes to
Yeah,
everything and you figure it
exactly.
out later. And then there I am calling my friends in Atlanta, all over the country. Can you get here? Help me bake. I need to be set up in case I become an Oprah's Favorite Things. But I got to the final round, and we all realized that my business was too small, but I could handle View Your Deal on ABC. I was introduced by the creative director of O Magazine,
That is
and it
so
was it
neat.
was it was really nice. So the next phase will be more of a kind of like gold belly kind of thing. getting on a platform and having co-packers make it for me. I'll give my recipes to a co-packer. They'll put
Yeah.
all my labels on, all the things that I love to do because I love the creation of it, but I don't necessarily want to be a slave to the kitchen anymore.
Right. It's
So
a lot of
that's to
work.
me yeah. So I've already been approached by people and that's
Is the
gonna
shop
go
still
underway.
open or is it just kind of hi on hiatus or?
It's a hiatus.
Okay.
I kept my website, it's parked. I kept my uh, Instagram page because the person who saw me for this new platform, he saw my postings. So that's how I caught his attention. And so
Nice.
this is all kind of relatively new, but he's has a long track record in the food industry. And um, Gold Belly is a great model because it allows people to buy the best of the best.
Mm.
And so we don't have that for our Black culture, that does things that you may not find on Gold Belly. Maybe some things you would, but I don't know if they'd get a sweet potato pie that you could get from some makers, some local makers like me and other people. And there's things that I do Haitian inspired because I'm from
Mm-hmm.
Haiti. Haitian like beef patties. You probably heard of Jamaica beef
Right, right.
patties. Yeah. So
Yeah.
my, what takes the Haitian ones over the top is that it's like imagine a croissant, like flaky, um, you know, uh, pastry
Sure.
stuffed with spicy meat. So that's
Ooh.
really at essence what it is. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you got to make that dough, you got to make it, really beautiful and flaky, and then you've got to make the spicy meat inside of it. So that's, those are some of the business initiatives that I'm going to be taking advantage of in the next year with some partners, and it's going to be done in a way that I don't have to be, like I said, a slave to the kitchen. So
Yeah.
um, so that's one of the things that's one of the outside things that I do.
But I've seen pictures of some of the things you made and they all look super tasty and delicious and beautiful and
Thank
so
you. Thank you.
yeah.
Well, some of them will be featured in there.
Okay. Yeah,
Like my
nice.
pies. We're talking about, maybe my pies, soups, cookies.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
My little sweet tooth.
Sweet tooth. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I like to, I'm really conscious about sugar because I had a mother who had diabetes.
mine
And
too. Yeah.
yeah, it's a serious thing and it's hereditary, can be hereditary,
Hmm.
but it's also entirely preventable. So I like to coax flavor out of the ingredients that I use before I even
Ooh.
add any sugar, because there's a lot of chemical things that you can do just with raw ingredients, raw, really good ingredients. And so I kind of aim for the top and I do, I'm like a food chemist, I
Yeah,
would
it's like
say,
it's
when it
like
comes to
magic. It's like
cooking.
science and magic and yeah, it's all there.
Yeah,
Ah.
they should have had me do that on an episode of
I
Chopped.
know. You could have joined Piper in the kitchen because she was a chef and you're like, here's some stuff I
Yes.
learned from my exes or whatever.
Yes,
See?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Amazing.
Well, they dodged a bullet there, but
Hmm.
maybe there'll be a sequel
Maybe. Yeah.
to Charmed. But
Yeah.
what they always end up doing is creating a new Charmed with younger people.
Yeah.
When
Right.
they should just keep the same crew.
Hmm. So, and you come from like a family of doctors. Was there any pressure to like become a doctor or
Oh
go into
yeah.
that field? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. They're all highly educated people. My father came from Haiti. He didn't know much English. He scored 95 on his medical boards. Never let us forget it. Um, he was, his brothers were doctors. Also, highly accomplished people. Their wives were doctors. My mother was a nurse. A lot of people in the medical profession. So it was it was a field that I was expected to go into, but I didn't want to do what they wanted to do. For a time, I thought I might be a dermatologist because
Mm.
it might be hard to believe now, but I had acne growing
Oh,
up in my teenage years. Like I was like a pizza face. And so I said, okay, well, maybe I'll become a dermatologist. But I I ended up studying politics, political science. I
wow.
was,
Yeah.
part of being from Haiti is that you're so connected to what's going on. There's so much chaos and strife in the country politically that you just get engaged and involved. And that was also, in my blood.
Hmm.
And so I ended up going to NYU and studying political science and loved it. And I was going to go to law school, but then I got an American tragedy playing a lawyer on TV, and I said, "Well, I guess that's what
This is
God's
the new
telling me
path.
I
Yeah.
need to do right now."
Yeah.
So,
Do you still have family in Haiti now? How are they coping?
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's chaotic. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
dangerous.
It's very sad.
It's all those things. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is.
So you just, pray and hope that,
Yeah,
everything.
right.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, exactly.
the character of Sheila, what kind of impression do you hope she made to viewers and audiences? It was a huge impression on, I think, a lot of people. And I think, um,
Oh, thank you.
yeah, I mean,
I
I
appreciate
think it's
that.
important. And, because Darryl and Sheila were only a few of the black characters on the show. How do you think it mattered to audiences?
Well, I can't say that I know that much about how it was perceived other than in my circle, because when I changed my hair, for example, I'm a whole different person and people don't recognize me. At the time with the short hair, I would get recognized and people would offer really lovely compliments about, how they felt I did on the show. But over the years, with big hair, I I I don't look like Sheila anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for me it's all about the work and leaving something behind that whether people know me or not, or recognize me or not, and that's fine, that they walked away or, whatever with an impression that, that I was, that I impacted the stories, in a positive way, and that, maybe at times they remembered something that I did in one of the episodes that's memorable to them. That to me is the reward right there. Like, no one has to come up to me. I've been recognized for other things that I've done in the past.
Yeah.
Um, but again, I have this big hair now, as opposed to wearing, yeah, I know. Which I love.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I change it, I do different things, but I don't wear my hair short that often. I've been considering cutting my hair
Mm.
and going back to the short. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. But it's about just leaving it, doing your best, leaving it there, and hoping that somebody will find, some inspiration or be moved by
Yeah.
some of the things that you did. And I think that they wrote the characters to be impactful. We weren't invisible on those episodes. We were seeing people, you know, felt what we were about, and we resonated with some people, and that's everything
Hmm.
for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I'm
real
not one of those
people.
kind of people. And there's celebrities who might want to go into a place because they just want that dopamine hit. You know what I mean? I'm the opposite. I'm going the opposite direction.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. I mean, yeah, because Sheila did have short hair most of the time. There's one, I
Mm.
think it was in earlier in or later in season
That I had a
six.
long,
You that long
that was like the beginning of my moving
experimenting.
towards, yeah, yeah, because
Nice.
we do that as women, you know.
Yeah. Like
And
what looks best?
every wig or weave is it's a different character that I'm
Hmm.
playing. You know, I'm much more flirty in hair like this versus short hair. I'm going to be serious. You know, I'm not,
Yeah.
you don't want to mess with me kind of thing, you know. So it's part of the character, you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. It all informs that. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
One other thing I wanted to ask you, I think we talked about this before, about the comics, the Zenescope comics. Sheila was
Mm.
not in those comics, but they had two seasons of Charmed comics that took place after the show ended. Darryl
Mm.
appeared in it. He did come back and helped out, and he even got powers for a little bit. It was pretty crazy. So
Did
do
he
you
leave
think?
his wife and kids? Like, are the kids in
No.
college now, or what's going on?
He came back
They don't
just
even
for a
talk
brief
about it.
stint. No, he's just it's like they're living on the east side. He's coming back for a little bit, then he's going to go back to the family, and so it was more kind of like a vacation. He had a visit and then went back. But if they approached you to be in the comics, do you think you would have agreed?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I have nothing but good memories of having worked on Charmed. There wasn't a single day that I went there that felt like it was a chore or that I didn't get along with people. The
Hmm.
chemistry was great. Everyone was welcoming and loving and supportive. So
Nice.
yeah, I would do it in a second. I had to look it up because I had never heard of that before. And
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, are they using my likeness without telling me? Like there's all that stuff going on these days.
Right.
But they're not, right? You said
They're
that
not.
they're
No.
not. They're just using a couple of the characters. Yeah.
Yeah, they might
So
have mentioned this
I
character's name and yeah.
they just mention her name. Yeah, I would absolutely, if were asked, I would absolutely
Yeah.
resurrect that character. That'd be fun.
Because we've had the writers of the comics on this podcast before, and they've all
Oh, well, tell him to
been
give me a call.
exactly
You have
right.
my email. Tell him to emaal me.
Let's
I'll
do
be
it.
on
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So, is there anything else that you wanted to, shout out there or put out into the world before we go?
Um,
I know it's a
not
vague, kind of a
really.
vague question.
It's a big question. It's a big
Yeah.
question. But uh, I haven't been acting in a little bit, probably five. Well, I did something called um, oh my gosh, with Ashley Greene. It was
Mm,
a horror movie, a thriller.
okay.
I forget what it was called. Oh my gosh. Um, but I haven't really been acting for a while, so I've transitioned into this other business as a financial representative, working for one of the top insurers in the country. And, um, you know, some of all of acting is a heart project. If you are a heart-centered person,
Yeah.
you know, you look for what's really going on, you know, under the surface and try to manifest and put that on the surface. So what I do now requires that same kind of empathy, and
Mm,
I feel like there's alignment in all the things that I've done, and this kind of greets my acting in a way because I'm personable. You have to really be good with your, you
yeah.
know, very personable with your clients. You have to be personable in this business. You can't be you know, a rock in the corner, you know, not, I mean, you may go far, but probably not. I don't know. Um, so uh, what I'm doing now aligns with a lot. It was set up by a lot of the experiences that I had before,
Yeah.
going into rooms, talking to people. Even if I was running lines, you still got it. So what do you do? Where are you from?
Yeah.
You have to. So all of those skills have just traveled with me and are being applied. And I feel like I'm in a different business, but I'm really doing the same thing. I'm, being empathetic with people, which is my nature, and trying to be of help.
Hmm.
Whether you're being of help by servicing a story or being of help by servicing a solution for someone. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where they meet. And yeah, I'm really happy where I am. I still get calls. I still get calls a lot, which is wonderful and very complimentary. And if the time allows and the opportunity greets that, I would absolutely
Yeah.
do a guest role or recurring role or something like that. Absolutely,
Hmm.
100%.
Yeah, for everything you're
Just,
doing, you're tapping into that compassion and connectivity, and
yes,
that's really great.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I think it all serves all the things that I like to do. It just being in that kind of mindset. And
Hmm.
um, I believe I believe acting has changed me as a person, as well as the business that I'm in now has changed me as a person. It's just even put the focus even more clearer on making it less about you and more about the
Yeah.
people that you serve. And in acting, we are serving the storytelling, and
Right.
trying to serve the story of this character in the best way that we can. So, so I'm in the service business.
I love that. Exactly. Ah. See, you're healing. You're healing hearts.
Healing hearts. Yes, one at
Hmm.
a time. Healing hearts.
Yeah,
Yes.
beautiful. Well, thank you for joining me. This was such a pleasure to talk to you.
Oh, thank you. It was wonderful. Thank you for
Yeah,
inviting me.
of
I'm
course.
deeply honored and flattered.
I'm glad that we connected. I'm glad that I found you, and I get to see all of your amazing. So that's super exciting to me. Is there any place that you want people to look for you or find you or follow you?
Well, I'm on social media. I'm the insurance chef on Instagram and on Facebook. I'm also on LinkedIn
Oh, nice.
as I'm Sandra Prosper on LinkedIn. I might have my profile name as the insurance chef. And you know why I put chef? Because
Right.
I am, and
Yeah.
but I cook up a lot of really amazing things for my clients. So that's how the name came together. It's just being able to cook up a lot of great solutions to help my clients.
Yeah. You're a life
So
chef
yeah,
now.
I'm a life chef. Yes, in
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In all your different fields, it's all about the recipe, you know?
All different fields.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
Well, thank you. This is amazing. Um,
Yeah. It was my pleasure.
yeah. So I'll be keeping in touch, and yeah,
Yeah, please do.
this will be up and people will be able to enjoy.
Get to
So,
know
yeah,
Sandra
exactly.
Prosper.
Yeah, what she's been up to.
Well, they can find me on those social media platforms
Okay,
and
perfect.
be happy to connect with them.
Yeah. And you can find this podcast at Words of the Witches, all the places. And yeah, we'll be back for more covering the Charmed magazines now. Like so we're doing those
Oh my
this year.
goodness. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, tag me when this
Okay.
airs so that I
I
can look
will.
at it and share it and everything. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank
Great to
you.
finally talk to you. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye.